Welcome to this mellow yin-yang yoga practice, where we'll begin with a functional vinyasa flow sequence, then slowly mix in several yin yoga postures with 2-minute long holds. From a comfortable cross-legged seat, start to walk your hands forward to come into an easy forward bend. Relax the back and relax the head. And gently soften down here as you stretch into the back. Breathe into the back. Hands contacting the earth. And slowly come back up and come into seated spinal twist. Sweep the arms around and up over the head and twist to your right, taking the right hand behind you on the floor and the left hand to the outer leg, outer knee. And then sweep the arms overhead, come over to the other side. Inhale here. And as you exhale, releasing, take the arms back up over the head. Inhale. And exhale, twist to the first side once again. Spine is lifted tall. And release, take the arms overhead last time. And exhale, twist to your left. And release the twist, sweep the arms overhead. And release the arms down, climb forward onto hands and knees. Taking cat and cow. As you inhale, come into a back bend, drop the ribs, lift the gaze, and exhale, round the spine, let the head drop. Inhale, come to the back bend, lift your sitting bones, and exhale, rounding, tuck the tailbone. Inhaling to the back bend, lift the gaze, and exhaling, rounding the back. Last time, inhale. Find the back bend. As you exhale, round it all the way back into child's pose. Find a comfortable child's pose to rest and breathe in. Your knees can be narrower or wider, whatever feels good. Take 2 or 3 easy breaths into your back. And come up to hands and knees and into downward dog. Tuck the toes, lift up the hips, press back through the arms. Lengthening the spine and lengthening the backs of the legs. And now come forward to plank, shoulders over the wrists. Inhale your breath here. And as you exhale, come down into 8-point pose. Drop the knees, chest to the ground, hips lifted for a moment, and now let the hips come down to the ground as you find your low or high cobra pose. And now take it back to child's pose once again. And come up to hands and knees. And downward dog, lift the hip. Inhale forward to plank, and exhale, drop the knees, 8-point pose, little back bend happening here, and then forward and up into cobra, low or high, you choose. And exhale to child's pose. And now come up to hands and knees, tuck the toes, come back to downward dog, press into the earth, lift up the sitting bones, and come forward into plank and down into chaturanga, hovering or dropping the knees like we did before, up into cobra or upward dog, and exhaling to downward dog. And now drop the knees, rest in child's pose. Come back up to hands and knees and take downward dog once again. Inhale and plank pose. Exhale with or without the knees. Come down and up into your back bend, cobra or upward dog, and then into downward dog. And breathe. Inhale and exhale. Drop the knees. Come into child's pose to rest. Noticing the energy in the body after this moving practice, after this energy flow. And now for a side stretching child's pose, place the right hand on the right side edge of your mat and the left hand on top of the right. And breathing into the left side of the torso, the armpit. You could even bump out into the left side of the ribs a bit to get a little more sensation here. And the other side, left hand over to the left edge, right hand on top of the left hand. Lengthening into the right armpit, side body. And releasing to come back to center. Come up to hands and knees for rolling panda, our yin posture, where we'll lift the left arm up into the air and then thread it underneath and through to the opposite side. Both knees on the ground to begin. The right hand can come up above the head and press into the earth. Stretching here primarily on the left side of the neck. So you can allow the head to tilt, maybe bring the left ear toward the ground, maybe walk the left shoulder down away from the left ear. Now optionally, a second variation, you can take your right foot out to the side, right leg straight out to the side like a kickstand, and get a little more rotation here, maybe turning the gaze up toward the sky a bit more, and optionally you could wrap the right hand behind the low back or keep it on the ground. And here stretching more in between the shoulder blades in the upper back, the base of the neck. And slowly now coming back around to hands and knees. Switch to the other side. Lift your right arm up. Inhale, reach, and exhale. Slide it under, thread it through. And keeping both knees on the ground to begin. Left arm can come up above the head, left hand on the earth. Lengthening the right side of the neck. An option for the second variation, left foot comes out to the side like a kickstand and tucking the head farther through, optionally taking the left arm behind the back or keeping it up above the head on the floor. And soften and relax into this position. And now slowly release back to hands and knees, and tucking the toes to come into downward facing dog. From downward dog, lift the right leg up and back, three-legged dog. Press strong into the hands and the arms. And now take the leg forward to come into a lunge. Drop the back knee down to the ground. Let the hips sink down. And you can move your hips around a little bit. Feel into this lunge. Feel into the dragon pose. Maybe both hands come on the inside of the leg. Or maybe the right arm or hand comes up onto the knee for a little more of a twisting, tilting pelvis lunge. We're stretching into the left hip, the front of the left hip and thigh. Breathing into this. And now an easy twist. Left hand on the earth, right arm reaches up into the sky. Inhale. And exhale, sweep the arm down, bring it into crescent lunge, sweeping both arms forward and up, feeling the back bend here as you continue to soften down through the hips. Lift the gaze, reach up through the fingers, and breathe. Pressing firmly into the front foot to help yourself lengthen up and back. And with your next exhale, release down, hands to the earth, stepping back, take it into plank. Coming on down through chaturanga with or without the knees and inhaling up into your back bend, downward dog, exhale, breathe here. Left leg up and back, three-legged dog, lengthening up. And taking the leg forward to find your lunge, drop the back knee down to the ground. Hands on either side of the foot or both on the inside of the foot, or tilting, twisting as you wish. Stretching into the front of the right hip, the right psoas, the quads on the right side. Softening down through the hips. And now twisting, lifting the left arm up. Reaching. Bring it back down, coming into the crescent lunge, arms forward, up and back. Hips continue to sink down as the heart lifts up, gaze lifts up, fingertips lift up. Pressing firmly into the front left foot, into the earth. And releasing, hands to the earth. Stepping back, plank pose. Inhale. Exhale with or without knees, chaturanga into up dog or cobra. And exhale, child's pose. Resting here. Breathing. And press the fingertips into the earth, lifting up through the armpits. Inhale into the back, and come up to hands and knees and downward dog. From downward dog, right leg comes up and back, three-legged dog. Moving through a dancing warrior, let's take the right leg forward and bring the arms over the head, warrior one. Inhaling here, breathing a couple breaths. And place your palms together, draw them down in front of the heart and open it wide into warrior two. Turn the hips toward the left and bend over the right knee, gazing to the right. Inhaling into reverse warrior, keep the front knee bent, gazing up at the right fingertips. And now straighten the front leg, inhale, and exhale, take it into triangle pose, right hand on the shin, the ankle, the floor, or a block as you lift your left arm up, stretching into the left side of the body. feeling the length in the left side of the ribs. And breathing here, legs are strong, thigh muscles engaged. Come back up into Warrior Two. Inhale, one breath, and exhale, spiral down over the front leg. Step back two, plank pose, moving through your vinyasa. Nice strong back bend, lifting and taking it to downward dog. Right into the second side, left leg up. Exhaling, step the leg forward and into Warrior One. Drop the back heel, sweep the arms up. Nice deep bend in the front leg, feeling the thighs engaged, feeling the heart lifting, the fingertips and the crown of the head lifting up. Warrior Two, opening out to the right side, gazing out over the left hand. Reverse warrior, right hand to the leg, left arm up, lengthening into the left torso, left waist, left armpit. And straighten the front leg now, inhaling here and exhale, extend out over that leg into triangle pose. Right arm extends up. Feeling the stretch here in the right side of the torso, maybe also the left inner thigh or the left hamstrings. To release, come back up, Warrior Two. One inhale, and the exhale spirals you down over the front leg. Step back to plank through your vinyasa, with or without the knees down. And exhaling all the way back to child's pose this time to rest. Noticing your energy now, noticing and feeling into the body. Checking in with your breath. And now coming up, hands and knees, downward dog. Lengthen the legs, lift up through the hips. Lift the right leg up and back. Open up the hip this time, let the foot hang toward the opposite side. And now taking it to sleeping swan, right knee forward, turning on the shin, lifting up through the chest. And as you take your exhale, bring it on down. You can rest on your elbows, or you could rest your forehead on top of stacked hands, or reach the arms in front of you on the ground. The functional target area here is the right outer hip, the right glutes. So please adjust your knee, your foot, or the angle of your torso so that you feel the stretch here, making sure there's no pain in the knee. So modify as you need to. And sinking in to an awareness of the breath and the blend of breath and sensation here in this pose. Now slowly, carefully lifting up, tuck the back toes, make your way back to plank and through a vinyasa of your choice, or you could skip it and move back to downward dog or child's pose. Lift the left leg up and back, bend the knee, Open up the hips so the foot hangs toward the opposite side, and inhale. As you exhale, sweep the knee forward and through for swan pose, beginning with up swan for a breath or two, lengthening up. Feel the little back bend here, and take it forward when you're ready onto elbows or forehead on the ground. Your variation. Again, you can shift or modify the angle and the position of your torso, your leg, your foot to make the pose work for you. Stretching now into the left glutes. Soften and breathe. And let yourself relax into this shape. And now slowly release the pose. Tuck the back toes. Step back to plank. Come down through your vinyasa. Lift up through your back bend. Exhaling, downward dog. And now dropping the knees, child's pose. Take a rest. And slowly come up and make your way into a sitting position for some forward bending and half butterfly. Right leg forward, left leg bent. And come forward, maybe the hands resting on the shin, the foot, or on the floor. And allow your body to soften here into this forward bend, targeting the back of the leg, the hamstrings of the right leg, and the spine and the back body. Breathing into the pose. And slowly lifting up out of this forward bend, slowly changing legs, left leg forward, right leg bends. And gently come forward over the leg, resting with the hands on the shin or the foot or the floor. Relaxing and softening here. easing into the pose with a steady breath. Feeling the back of the left leg, feeling the stretch in the spine, and in the large, broad muscles of the back, from the shoulders down to the sacrum, down to the hips. Now slowly coming up from the forward bend, and slowly make your way down onto your back. Resting on the back, drawing the knees in, clasping the fingertips around the legs. And now release the legs, come into a rebound resting position, anything that's comfortable on your back here. Taking 1 minute here to rest and feel what's happening inside your body. Feeling the energy that's flowing through you. Now bending the knees, hugging them into the chest once again. Lift your forehead up towards your knees and squeeze tight, maybe holding opposite elbows. And now spinal twist with the knees coming to the right, so feet can find the earth to shift into position so you're comfortable dropping knees to the right, extending left arm out to the left, and optionally you can cross the left knee over the right for twisted roots. Or extend the bottom leg down, taking your favorite variation today and letting yourself sink into it, soften into it, and breathe with it. Feeling how each breath affects your body, especially in this position. Feeling how each breath makes your spine feel. How does each breath affect what you feel in your ribs? And releasing, knees back to center. Rest at the center, feet wide, knees resting in against each other. And feel the spine coming back to neutral. And now to the other side, shifting the hips to the right, letting the knees come in and over to the left. And again, your variation, maybe crossing the knees or straightening the bottom leg. Or just keeping both knees on top of each other and breathing in your twist. Letting your body soften, letting your mind rest into this. Slowly coming back to center now. Rest at the center, straightening out hips and shoulders. Feel the spine coming back to this place of neutral, of center. Bending the knees, rolling to one side, and coming up to seated for a symmetrical forward bend. Legs are both going to be straight in front of you. And come forward over the legs. So caterpillar pose with the legs closer together or wider apart, as wide as your mat perhaps. See what feels best today to stretch into the back of the torso, the spine, the hamstrings. And particularly noticing how the breath feels and how it affects your spine in this position. Slowly now rising up, coming all the way down onto your back for final shavasana. make yourself comfortable. Arms and legs can be straight, they can be spread out or sprawled out. You can use any pillows or cushions you'd like to prop yourself up to find complete comfort. And making any final adjustments so that you can fully soften and rest and relax here into the support of the earth. Rest and relax into this awareness of spaciousness inside. And feel your breath. And feel the flow of energy. Noticing where you feel energy, anywhere in your body. And now take a deep breath into your belly and bend the knees, exhaling and hugging the knees. And now some very gentle circles of the knees. Very slow, about 3 times in one direction and about 3 times the other direction. And when you're ready, gently rolling to one side, making your way up to a comfortable seat. Feeling into your body, feeling into your spine. Taking 3 deep breaths in and out here. And to gently close this practice, place your palms together at your heart and bow forward. Thank you for sharing this practice with me today. Namaste.